Welcome to News Insights. Welcome viewers. Welcome my guys, my buddies.
How are
Careful, you looking.
Thank you.
Okay. Li, baby face Li.
Li na baby face, ba?
Yeah.
Honorable baby face.
The man is advancing in age.
Right.
All right. Okay. So business of the day. Is it Chief Oshiomhole or Comrade Adams Oshiomhole?
Senator Oshiomhole.
Senator Comrade Adams Oshiomhole called the former Vice President of the country, Atiku Abubakar, a serial defector. He said he's the one that should write a book on how to defect. I will leave the floor for you to tell me his defection strategy.
Well, not a strategy. There is this initial narrative, rather, people are putting out there that APC now, rather than concentrate on governance, that they are busy politicking to make other people defect from PDP to APC. Do you understand that Asiwaju is now, galvanizing people to move from all other parties down to APC rather than concentrate on governance? We are just about halfway into this tenure and about halfway to next election. That is just too early to start talking about politics. But Atiku, he has found his voice as opposition recently, maybe because Obi was, has been doing the job,
the lead opposition.
Yeah, he didn't go to Dubai anymore. But okay, let's give him some credit for not being in Dubai at this time. So Oshiomhole was not saying, all this defection you have been doing before, it has never been of ideology. It has been about yourself. You were the Vice President of Nigeria from 1999 to 2007. You fell out with your boss, President Obasanjo, and sometime in 2006, you defected to ACN of that time. You defected to ACN of that time. No, there was no anybody asking you to come over. You were actually the number 2 person in Nigeria, the Vice President. Under PDP, you moved to ACM. Thereafter, after the election, you came back again in 2009 to PDP. You remained in PDP again. Then it got to 2014. You went back to APC again. Do you understand? APC was also a part of the
ACN joined
ACN was part of the constituents of the APC. Yeah. You moved again in 2014 back to APC. Who was it? Asiwaju that was calling you? Was it Asiwaju that was trying to turn Nigeria into one party state? What were you moving? Is it in search of ideology or in realignment with your own ideology? Was it your self-preservation? Has it not been all about you? Again, you didn't remain in APC. In 2017 again, you came back again to PDP. You remained in PDP, contested in 2019. After the election, you didn't believe you lost. You went to court. Then after submitting the case file in the court, you ran down to Dubai. Nobody saw you again until about 2023, when it was time for election again. You came again trying to go into the election again, where Obi decided to run and not step down for you again. Somehow, some people still stepped down for you. Didn't go down well with Wike, because Wike was on the verge of winning before Tambuwa, stepped down, and they eventually got the PDP primary ticket. Now, PDP has been in shambles since after that election. Okay? There's no, except in the last 2 weeks, there's no record anywhere that Atiku has been making effort to unify people under PDP since after the election.
Okay.
It was even a miracle, like we are saying, that he's not in Dubai. And now you are holding Asiwaju. Okay, so Oshiomhole and I said, if there's anybody to write a book on
about
defection, that Atiku is an expert on defection, not even Okowa, who was just probably doing it yesterday for the first time.
Okay, I want to ask you a question before I go to Honorable Eli.
Yeah.
Is it enough reason why the APC as a party is cajoling, coercing, luring so many people to defect to APC from other political party? Is it enough reason by Oshiomhole why APC is doing what they are doing right now?
Let me put it in 2 ways. So on one side, coercion is wrong. There should not be any kind of coercion in politics. That's why we have democracy. You should follow rule of law in whatever you're doing. That is it. anything about coaction, setting a bait for people. If you don't do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, we'll release instrument of state against you. Such should not be had among us. We should throw it away. It doesn't belong to Nigeria. If we continue that way, or if we are doing that, we are not going to get to any destination where we can say this is Nigeria that is working for all of us. Then coming to this side, canvassing and lobbying and persuading people to join you and expand your base, that is politics. You don't arrest a politician for playing politics. If I'm a musician, you don't arrest me for playing music. That is what I said I am. So canvassing and expanding, trying to woo people to your side, but not by coercion, like I said on the other side. It's what politics is.
All right, let me stop you there. I'll come back to you. Now, Oshiomhole's side, because Atiku talked about people defecting from PDP to APC. Now, on Oshiomhole's side, he tries to defend that, or put it out there that Atiku has been the serial defector. That's what it means. Now, a lot of people, because we saw in the Kebbi State senators yesterday, the three of them, after going to see the president, they defected, submitted their letter on different note, and defected to the APC. Is it a justification?
Well, I don't know what you mean.
Because he talked about ideology, that he doesn't have ideology, that Atiku doesn't have ideology. So those that are defecting from other political parties right now, Labour and all whatnot, into APC, that means they don't have ideology.
You see, as it stands, people that are moving like the case of Kebbi State, we've not seen or heard where either the APC or the president force anybody to join the APC. And politics is about number. It's a game of number. The more number on a particular side, the most likely they will win elections. So it's a personal thing to them who are moving to APC. Most probably they felt that the PDP, the parties they belong to at the moment, is losing ground, or is not also keeping by its own ideology in the first place. Most probably they think that the APC have better ideas, better programs for the nation or for their constituency, whichever way they represent at the moment. It's a personal game altogether at its stand. And then for the issue of Oshiomhole, Senator Oshiomhole, advising our former vice president to write a book about, defection from one party to another. Experience, they said, is the best teacher. I do not know why he decided to advise him. But of course, having seen the record of him being a member of PDP, I think from the first time SDP, if I'm not mistaken, what party was
that? That was the Watch Trade Report.
Time to PDP. And as a PDP member, he won the seat in Adamawa as a governor. Then he was called upon to run as a vice president, which he did successfully. Even as a sitting vice president, he also encouraged the same thing he's complaining about today, leaving his party, not resigning as vice president, joining APC.
ACN of that time.
Now, ACN, over time, did coalition together and they formed APC. So his movement from one place to another, of course, is an elder statesman. Of course, he's a very old politician. Someone with very good record in the country in terms of political office being occupied, successfully occupied for a period of time. So if Oshiomhole feels that Nigerians need to learn, we need to know why our politicians are moving from one party to another. Is it for the interest of the country? Is it that the parties they belong to do not have, or are not respecting internal democracy, or do not have programs that will better the lives of the country? Maybe he should write a book. Probably in his book, he'll be able to explain reasons why he was moving from one party to another at a particular time. Then that will now give us something to study for the future. So it's just about personal life.
Now, Oshiomhole himself were one of the arrowhead that formed Labour.
Yeah.
And he didn't stay in Labour. He's a Labour ideologist. He's a comrade. He led Nigerian Labour Congress for 8 whooping years during the time of Obasanjo. They formed Labour and wanted to make it a party where workers could come and express themselves. They wanted to model it according to the Labour Party in the UK. He tried to contest under Labour, but he knew that he was not going to win under Labour. He left the party, left his ideology, and went to AC also at the time. I forgot what it was then at the time. Or was it ACN? Yeah, ACN at the time. That's where he contested. So whichever way, one way or the other, he also botched his own ideology. What can you say?
Well, defection from party, as we have it, essentially was not exactly what happened in Oshiomole's case. It was more like the two parties, both Labour Party and ACN, as at that time in Edo State, even though he ran under the ticket of ACN. Yeah. It is more like the coalition that you are looking forward to in 2027, where they say, oh, the parties are not going to merge, but the parties that are going to be in that business are going to relax not presenting a candidate while all presenting a consensus candidate under the platform of one party. That was essentially what Oshiomhole did in Edo State. He didn't have animosity or any quarrels or anything that led him to depart from Labour. He didn't clearly say, oh, I'm no longer a Labour Party member. They came on board because ACN was just essentially the only opposition drawing strength from Lagos. As at that time, Labour was nowhere.
Is the idea of ideology?
Yes. No, coalition remains valid. Hold on. Coalition in some form remains valid. And when Labour coalesced in some form, because it was a state election, it wasn't very loud. And he now used ACN tickets to run. Eventually, he became, by reason of that success story of becoming the governor, an ambassador of ACN there. He remained with the party, and insofar as he rose to become the ACN chairman, even under APC, when they ended up becoming APC, he became APC national chairman. Oshiomhole has not left the party. He hasn't.
But is he encouraging other people to defect?
He didn't say. He was just saying that Atiku have sufficient experience in defection that he should kind of take the lead, so that Nigerians will be able to know if those times he was defecting, whether there is any state actor that was actually pushing him to do so, or was it ideology he was chasing, or was personal ambition?
Your last take, Oshiomhole, Atiku, and the president, including the de factos at the present, is this sustainable in Nigerian politics?
I think the moment our democracy becomes stabilized, more stabilized than it is, the day we begin to have the confidence in INEC, the day we begin to have the confidence in judiciary, that once you are voted, you will be declared and you will take your seat. The day Nigerians begin to understand that it's not about party, but it's about individual and the programs and confidence in you, all this jumping from one party to another, I think will stop. Because if you belong to a party that does not really have name, just like Oti was able to become governor, even in under Labour Party, just like we have some senators, people that want Senate, not because they belong to a particular party, but because people in their constituency actually liked them, voted them, and then INEC declared them, and they got their seat.
Okay.
The moment we get that, this running from one party to another.
Okay, I'm yet to see how so many things are going to play out. Before these guys defected back to APC, there were candidates on the line that they defeated. I wonder if they still want to continue in their position during the next election. The people that have been there before waiting on the line, what are they going to do?
What you have to understand is that this idea that when you win a ticket, win a primary election or by nomination or by consensus, you are a flag bearer of a party in a certain election, that because you have gotten a lifetime ticket, that should be discarded. If you were the flag bearer, for example, in Labour, in Osun State for 2023 election, it's for that election. There's nothing that says in 2027 that the same person, you might not be the best candidate for that party in the next election.
That what you are saying now is academic. What is on ground?
They're talking politics.
No, very true.
What's on ground is monarchy.
It's monarchy. Well, we can't take more than this. We'll be right back on this inside.